Good afternoon. My name is Sanid Agrawal and my roll number is 2510999116. And this is my task 5.2 of SIT232, which is object-oriented programming. And in this program, I have implemented three transaction classes, which are withdraw transaction, deposit transaction, and the transfer transaction for handling banking operations using the object-oriented design. And now this is my code. At the top, the account class stores the account data like name and balance and provides different methods such as deposit and withdraw. Now I'll scroll down to the transaction class. There I have created, as I said, three transaction classes. The first one is the withdraw transaction class, which is this. And in this withdraw transaction class, it handles the withdrawal operations by using the execute method, and this can also reverse the operation using the rollback. Now we will go to the deposit. This is the rollback. And now we will go to the deposit transaction class. This handles the deposit operations and also supports the rollback. This also supports the rollback. And now the transfer transaction class, which handles the transferring money between two different accounts by using the deposit and withdraw transactions internally. This is my full code, and this is the execute function, the rollback, and display, and this is the main system which we will go in the coming video. Now for directly answering how classes define different roles. Each class represents a specific responsibility in the system, like the account class, which is this plays the role of strong account data. The withdraw transaction class plays the role of handling withdrawal operations. The deposit transaction class plays the role of handling deposit operations, and the transfer transaction class, which plays the role of coordinating transfers between two different accounts. So the responsibilities are divided across each class, and each class plays a distinct role. Now we will see the abstraction part in the withdraw transaction method. In the execute method, this demonstrates abstraction as each class represents a real world operation like withdrawal, deposit, or transfer. And instead of directly modifying account balance throughout the program, these operations are abstracted into separate classes. The internal logic, such as the balance check and updates, is all hidden inside different methods like execute or rollback. For example, when the execute is called, we do not need to know how the balance is updated internally. And the hiding of implementation details is abstraction, as you know. Now, for encapsulation, we'll go to a transfer transaction class. The encapsulation is demonstrated in the transfer transaction class, and this class internally creates the withdraw transaction and the deposit transaction objects in its constructor and uses the execute and rollback methods. For directly answering the question about external perspective, from outside the class, we only interact with the transfer section and using methods like execute. We do not see or access the internal withdraw transaction or deposit transaction objects. So we do not need to know or care how the transfer is implemented internally, which shows the use of encapsulation. Now I will go to the call main system. This is the program class. This is the main method. And here all I have performed the code and called all these methods. Now for output, .NET Run. Now first I'll deposit the account holder name and the account name, and then withdraw, transfer. I can perform the transfer, then show accounts. For showing I have deposited amount 45,000 in account 1, and now I'll show the transfer method. So I selected 3, select sender 1, choose receiver for account 2. then transfer amount, let's suppose 10,000. So the amount is transferred to account 2, and now we'll show the accounts. See, in the first user it is 35,800, and in the second user it is 10,400. So this is my code. So overall, in this code, the classes define different roles by separating responsibilities. Abstraction is achieved by hiding implementation details inside different methods like execute or rollback. The encapsulation is shown in the transfer transaction where the internal objects are used but not exposed. And from an external perspective, we do not need to know or care how the internal operations are performed. Thank you for my video.